To create a new invoice for a customer, click on the Invoice Payments caption in the Features menu of your YLP app dashboard. This will take you to a new screen with a few preset filters to help organize the invoice history on the page. The best way to create invoices is through the Jobs table. Once a job is marked completed, an option to check the box at the beginning of a row becomes accessible. You can select multiple invoices that have been completed for that customer to make one invoice, or select them individually. When you check the box at the beginning of the row, select the button on the Create Invoice button. This action will take you directly to a new invoice with auto-filled yacht and customer information. Also, the job, service, and description is brought to the invoice, and the hours that have been calculated on the time cards associated with the job are also added. The billing amount is based on the service you selected on the job and how you set up that service in the settings. Any parts that were attached to the job are also automatically listed in the invoice. If you selected multiple jobs, they would be sectioned off by each job, including parts. Tax is automatically added to the invoice by the settings you configure in the initial setup of the app and based on the address of the yacht. Once you have edited the invoice, you can either print or email it directly to the customer. If you have set up the app to connect to your QuickBooks, you can choose to send the invoice to QBO. Based on the way you configured the QBO settings, the invoice is emailed automatically to the customer or in QBO waiting for you to send it to the customer. Also, when you select this option, the QBO invoice number is sent back to the app, so the invoices match in both systems. From the main invoices page, to generate a new invoice, click on the Add New Invoice button near the top. This will take you to the Invoice Details page with a short form. Fill in the mandatory details, starting with selecting the customer name from the drop-down menu. Add the billing address, set a date for the invoice, select the payment terms, and due date for invoice clearance. Use the Add Item button to add more services or tasks included in the invoice. You can also attach images and documents to include more detail to the invoice. Add any message you may want to include and click on the Save button, and the invoice will appear in your customer's records. Additionally, you can generate the invoice using QuickBooks. In this case, fill in the invoice details and then click on the Generate via QuickBooks button at the bottom.